desert. Complex. Ominous. The joining of beauty with a sense of danger. Fascinating in fact, mysterious in spirit. Striking, elegant. Landscape that surrounds us is a part of the northeast reach of the Sonoran Desert. The Sonoran Desert includes most of southwest Arizona, the southeast corner of California, and much of the northwest of Mexico. This is a young desert, existing for perhaps 10,000 years. 2 brief seasons of rainfall help support an enormous diversity of life, making it the most complex of all American deserts. Scientists are studying the biology, geology, and weather of this desert. But there are other thought-provoking and insightful perspectives to share. The native people who have lived in this landscape for hundreds of years offer a perspective each of us should hear and think about as we allow ourselves to be touched by this mysterious land of the Saguaro.
The desert speaks to our people in many ways. We feel honored to be here in this desert, to hear the different things it says to us. Wherever Creator is in these plants and in these animals and in us humans, He speaks to us by who He brings to us, by what He shows you, by the beauty of the desert. He gives you a gift.
For us, the gift is our chance to experience the moods and textures of a delicate habitat, where plants and animals relate in ways which make life possible for each.
They are like a circle. They're all connected. We're connected to all of the desert and the environment.
We're very careful when we walk in the desert. Not because of their thorns and the cacti and the stickers and the rocks that may hurt our feet, but because there was somebody else there before us, And when we say somebody else, we don't necessarily mean people. Two-leggeds, as we call them. But maybe there was a deer that had stood there, or a coyote that stood there, or a bobcat that laid there and had a nap.
We as Altan people know that we have to respect this earth that we walk upon, because we as Altan people were made from this earth, and when we pass away, we go back to the earth. So the way that you treat the earth, when you understand that our relatives are back into this earth, the earth is the same as your relative. My mother and my father are back into this earth. So if you throw trash on this earth, you're throwing trash on your relatives, your hahajan. These things are sacred, and to us, they're very powerful.
The saguaro, the way we're taught, is that if we go and harm and abuse the saguaro, we're essentially doing that to ourselves. Because the saguaro through eternity has been our relative. Because when the creation story is told in the wintertime, we're taught that the saguaro was a human being, and God put the saguaro on the earth in the form of a cactus so that we can begin to look at ourselves and eventually learn to respect ourselves. So when the human being became a saguaro, we begin to look at ourselves differently. Some people say if you look close enough in the dawn or the dusk of the day, those saguaros, they begin to look like people. And if you look close enough, you'll see people rather than saguaros. And especially if you're standing in a place where the saguaro silhouettes are in the horizon, and you stand back and you look and you'll see people in different forms and different shapes and doing different things. You'll see whole families. We call him our brother, and we know that he was put at this place for a very special reason. We want to have that strong image and that tall image about ourselves as people. So when we look at the saguaro, we begin to try to acquire those qualities. The saguaro is significant in the sense that it provides a very special gift to our people, and that is the fruit of the saguaro. And that fruit brings a sweetness into our lives. That fruit provides the nourishment for the happiness of our spirits, our souls. When we eat the sweet-tasting saguaro fruit, it makes us smile, makes us feel happy, makes us feel good. So the desert as a whole begins to nourish us, in not just in the physical sense, but nourish us in a spiritual sense. If people would stand in the desert for a few minutes, they would begin to have this feeling that there's something more to it than just the desert. And for us as Indian people, we begin to understand that, and that power that comes from the desert allows us people, human beings, to experience a certain quietness within us.
If you understand that the desert is you and you are the desert, you can only ask yourself, how would I want to be treated? So you treat the desert as you would treat any other human, with respect and dignity and care and love.
Desert can speak to each of us in many ways. If we care to discover and delight in its mysteries and its revelations, then we must meet it on its own terms, with patience, with an alertness of the senses, and with a quiet openness to a surrounding landscape of beauty, drama, and texture. It is here for all of us to share, and each of us to protect.